First part is enrollment information broken out by on-campus, which is like the PES, and then where it has PES AOI, that's the online program. So elementary has 263 students on campus and 212 that are online. The middle school, we have 182 students on campus, 67 online. The high school has 307. They actually have their highest on-campus enrollment in a very long time. On campus and 28 online for a total of 968. Our enrollment is a little bit higher than where we ended the school year last year, but it's still less than 1,000 students, although good news, if you hadn't heard, FDA and CDC approved COVID vaccinations for age 5 and up. And on the call today with the Navajo Nation Epidemiology Center, they have a town hall that they do on Wednesday afternoons. They're currently waiting to get the 5 to 11 age dosage because it's a little bit different, but they're in transit. So hopefully within the next week or so, we would be able to, they will be able to start vaccinating 5 and up. We do have 6, starting this Saturday, there are 6 Saturdays where the Pinyon Clinic will be using the district gym to do vaccination events on Saturdays. So once they have the dosages for the 5 to 11, they'll be able to come in and do that. We're also looking at possible during the school day vaccination events as well. IHS did come and do COVID boosters for the adults and do flu shots for kids and adults. They had a session at the elementary, a session at the middle school, and a session at the high school in the last couple of weeks. So we thank Pinyon Clinic and IHS for doing that. Our COVID dashboard, this is what is on our PUSD website. It was last updated last Friday. I update them every Friday as the numbers come in. Elementary, there was 1 case, middle school 1, high school 2. The cases are still coming from home. They're not contracting COVID on campus. They're contracting COVID at home through family events. 1 we caught through pooled testing. The others were caught because family members of the students were ill or had tested positive, and through the whole testing process, they were notified. We did have 1 staff member, but that staff member has been cleared and is back to work. And those are the numbers year to date. So far this year, we've had 28 students, that's since the first day of school, that have been COVID positive, and 9 staff members, and that's since July 1, when the new contract year started. But when you look at these numbers, it's actually, several of those numbers are family groups. Like we had two staff members who work here and their 3 children tested positive. That's 5 cases, but it's 1 household. So even though those numbers look a little high, when you actually break it down by family groups, it's really just households that are testing positive. Because once it's in the house, it spreads to everybody in the household. So once somebody brings it home, then pretty much everybody's going to end up in isolation or quarantine. All our mitigation factors, protocols are still in place. Mask usage, hand sanitizer, screening upon entry, everything we've been doing since day 1, we're still doing. The social distancing and all of those things are still in place here on campus. Human resource update. We're always looking for substitute teachers. We have very few right now. A lot of our substitute teachers that we did have taken permanent jobs within the district, so they're no longer available to be substitute teachers. We are still looking for a certified social worker for the high school. That's part of the state school safety program grant. We do have a candidate for the Dentist Studies teacher at the middle school that's in the interview process. We do need 2 instructional coaches, one for middle school, one for high school. We do need a certified counselor at the high school, and there is, I believe, at least 1 applicant right now for that position. So hopefully by the next board meeting, that whole process will be complete and we can make a recommendation. We are still looking for teacher assistants. Those were the positions we created to help out in the schools for COVID protocols. And the certified nurse assistant, the additional position at each school that was created. Let's see. We do still need 1 security officer. We're still looking for a couple bus drivers or bus driver trainees. Some substitute staff for custodial and bus drivers just to take the load off if somebody calls in. And then we don't employ them, but Southwest Food Service, our food service provider, needs a cafeteria worker. Just some other updates. The outdoor spaces are coming together. If you happen, for those of you who are here, if you happen to look out as you're leaving, the ESS, the multi-sensory outdoor space is finished out there. It's really a cool thing to see. Hopefully it's still light out. I know it gets dark very early, but you can take a look over there. The front entry at the middle or at the elementary, I'm sorry, is complete. HVAC is complete. There's been a lot of big projects that have been going on really since last May that have finally wrapped up as we are moving forward. Our next big projects are high school roof issues. Whenever it rains or snows, there are leaks. Our maintenance crew repairs them as best we can, but it's really beyond just simple repairs. It needs full. It needs the roofing contractor. So we're working with the school facilities board to come out and they pay for that kind of thing through a grant program. So we're working to establish those grants. The transportation area, things are pretty much the same and ongoing. We've had, today we unfortunately had an issue with our Eagle, not the new Eagle bus, the old Eagle bus. We had to swap that out today because it broke down. We are looking to trade in a couple of our older buses. Those would be capital items. And we have a potential to use the ESSER funding, the COVID relief funds, to do that because it's trading smaller size buses for larger size buses to do the distancing. So we're in the process of working on that. We had homecoming week was last week. I already mentioned the vaccination events. I guess the other big thing, and these are actually agenda items later, is just there are some board travel conferences and things coming up in the months, well, in the month of December, actually, the NISA conference and the ASBA annual conference. So those are agenda items for the board to attend, but the registration and everything have opened for those. So we'll need to know fairly soon if board members wish to attend those conferences or not, because they do fill up quickly. So any questions or?
I wanted to ask you, maybe next board meeting, I'd like to see some student data. Because we already had 1 quarter over, and I don't know if any of the assessments were done.
Yeah, the assessments, first benchmark was completed and then the NWA was completed, and we do, they have been compiling that data so we can share that.
Okay.
Mr. Nelson already put those on the email.
He sends that out to
I
the,
haven't went through that one. the other day.
yeah, he sends those out to parents and students in the community. There's a newsletter that the high school puts out that has that in there, so. So I think we're possibly live now through my cell phone, so I hope. Yes,
Chris,
yes.
it's not a question, it's a concern. I had a parent approach me, and I asked parents to be present at today's board meeting to do a call to the public or public input. She informed me that she had a concern with her child at the elementary school. And she informed me that the child or her concern was addressed with Dr. Sells as well as yourself. And she was at the point to where she wanted to withdraw her child from the district and bring the child to Rough Rock, because we are offering in person as well as online. And I didn't want her to withdraw the child from our district. I asked her to see if there was other alternatives or anything else that we can do. And she informed me that the teacher made a comment to where it singled out the student.
Well, Mr. Little, I've already addressed this issue and spoken to that parent just today, so the issue has been resolved.
Okay, all right then, thank you.
Any other question, board members?
I guess, for me would be almost in the same situation, but, each district do have learning packets, right? Do they still distribute learning packages?
No, we have an online program and then we have the on-campus program.
Okay, so the students that can't get internet and the parent chooses not to have the child in school, they don't have any other option?
Not right now for Pinion. There are options. There are the BIE schools, I think, are still doing learning packets, but I don't think any of the public schools are still doing learning packets.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I can check to see what other districts are doing, but that's not in our return plan.
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to the next item. 3. Superintendent.
Let's see, Madam President, members of the board, our next item is acknowledgements and recognition. Pinion Elementary students, staff and parents of the month, and this for those that were identified in September and October. Submitted by Mr. McDonald, the elementary assistant principal. So the September parent of the month is Vicki McCabe. The September staff of the month is Matilda Denny, who's our attendance specialist, student data records specialist at the elementary. And then the students of the month for the pre-K classroom is Shantan Bahi, and kindergarten is Delvecchio Sosi. Delvecchio Sosi. First grade, Kadira Atakai. And then first grade also is Paisley Mike and Raya Bahi. Second grade, Linnea Johnson, Caden Lee. And then third grade, we have Shyla Sage, Rihanna Burbank, Natalie Sosi, Kaylin Harrison, and Trevor Edgewater. And then for fourth grade, we have Kao Dempsey, Dewey Bahi, Sierra Cantu, and Owen Yazi. And then for fifth grade, Conrad Hostine, Esperanza Shorthair, Nathan Montoya, Aurora So, and Liam Cruz. And then our specials also nominate, and that's Liam Cruz, so he's on twice. And then for October, our students, well, for the month of October, our parent of the month is Desiree Johnson. And then our staff of the month is Jacelyn So, who's our physical education teacher.
You okay,
Our,
Mr. Little?
our students of
Yeah.
the month are kindergarten is Varen Benali, first grade is Zayden Delguy. Second grade is Wosiah Begay, third grade Elias Segay and Autumn Watchman. The office nominated Dominic Nez. And then third grade also is Ava Shoney. And then fourth grade, we have Zavery Finley, Kayla Denny, and Jaden Kiani. And then for fifth grade, we have Jakelson Kochiumtawa, Zach Gorman, and Nicole Bitsui. And for our specials department, Jason Lee. So we'd like to congratulate all our students, parents, staff of the month for Pinion Elementary School. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then the next item is 3.2, which is acknowledgement and recognition of Pinion Accelerated Middle School Student, Parent, and Staff of the Month. So for some background, at the middle school, students are selected based on set criteria and nominated by Google Forms. Parents are selected based on their extra efforts to ensure high quality education for their child. Staff members are selected based on extra service to the school and are also nominated via Google Forms. They are provided certificates for our students. Well, for everybody that receives recognition, we do social media posts and it does go to our website as well. So for October, the student of the month for sixth grade was Kayla Ben. Seventh grade, Malachi Sosi. Eighth grade, Nikisha Shaw. And then our October parents of the month were Marquita Belingachi. Seventh grade is Arlinda Shirley. And eighth grade is Loretta James, who's also just started as a new employee last month. And then our October staff of the month is Kamisha Yazi, and she works in the front office at Pinion Middle School. So congratulations to our middle school student, parent, and staff of the month.
Congratulations.
And then 3.3. 3.3, acknowledgement and recognition of Pinion High School student, parent, and staff of the month. The student of the month, this month we honor and recognize Corey Begay as the student of the month. Corey is a senior this year. He's a well-rounded individual who stays focused on his academics and is a strong force on the football team. He's always willing to give a helping hand to his fellow classmates and is an awesome role model for the underclassmen. Corey is always upbeat and positive. He's a Pinion High School Eagle through and through and is always showing school pride wherever he goes. Corey is extremely proud of Pinion High School and is looking forward to graduating this year. So congratulations to Corey. Employee of the month, this month, it is Miss Amy Dudley, who is a high school English teacher. Ms. Dudley cares about her students and is always willing to go that extra mile, meeting student needs. She's outgoing, friendly, never says no to her students who need something from her. Ms. Dudley always makes herself available, not only during the week, and on the weekends as well. She also does a lot of additional things throughout the day. Ms. Dudley is also the student council sponsor, so she had a huge hand in last week's parade and all the student council activities, homecoming activities last week. So congratulations to Ms. Dudley. And our parent of the month This month, we honor and recognize Mrs. Martina Yazi, parent of Ayana Menikaz Yazi, who's a 10th grade student, and Alexander Menikaz Yazi, who's a 9th grade student. Ms. Yazi has been donating a lot of her to the football and volleyball teams as her children are both participating in those sports. She's also attends their home games. She's one of those parents who helps a lot into her children's education. So congratulations to our students, parent, and staff of the month at Pinion High School.
Congratulations.
And then 3.4 is acknowledgement and recognition of Pinion High School CTE Student of the Month for September and October. Background, the September CTE Student of the Month is Silas K. III. He is the son of Wilford Ticini. Silas was nominated by his automotive teacher, Gary McCabe. Mr. McCabe says, Silas shows excellent learning abilities in automotive class. He started the class not knowing anything about automotive, and now he has the ability to complete the basic service in the tire department. He continues to lend a helping hand to other students when they need help. So everybody should remember his name. If you have a flat tire, he's the one to go to. And then the October CTE Student of the Month is Murphy James. He's the son of Murdoch and Christy James. Murphy was nominated by his welding teacher, Mr. Lee. He shared these kind words. Murphy is an outstanding student. He always shows up on time, ready to work and learn something new every day. He's a great welder as well, and always puts pride in his work. Also, he's willing to put time aside to help his fellow classmates when they need help or when they are lost. Overall, Murphy is a great student and a great young man as well, and he has a bright future ahead of him. And I believe Murphy's a senior this year, so he will be graduating. So congratulations to our PHS CTE Students of the Month.
So we go to the next item on the consent agenda.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, the consent agenda is there laid out before you.
I'll go ahead and motion. Approve the consent agenda, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any questions?
Well, you can't do questions on the consent
Okay,
agenda.
is there any comments?
No, it's just
No
one,
comments, okay.
a motion, a second, a vote on the consent
Okay, roll
agenda.
call vote.
Dorothy Yossi,
Yes.
Armona Now,
Don't make a comment.
here, Mark Little,
Mark, are you there?
Yes, I vote yes.
Bessie Allen. Yes. Miranda Mitsui. Yes. 5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. Agenda.
Okay, next item, new business. Superintendent.
Madam President, members of the board, 5.1 under new business, discussion and possible action to approve travel for the superintendent and governing board members to attend the following events. The first one is the National Indian Impacted Schools Association Annual Conference. That's NISA, which is December 6th and 7th, 2021 in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is at Harrah's, which is where it has traditionally been. The 6th and 7th is a Monday, Tuesday. So the travel day would be Sunday. The conference is Monday, Tuesday. And then I believe the 8th, which is Wednesday, is the travel day back. Number 2 is the ASBA, Arizona School Board Association, ASA, which is the Arizona
Vote.
Bolts. Oh, yeah.
Votes. Votes.
So we have, well, the annual conference, which is in December, and that is the 15th, 16th, 17th, which is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So your travel day would be Tuesday, the 14th, if you attend the pre-conference. The 15th is a pre-conference day. And then the travel day back would be on the 18th, which is a Saturday. And then ASBA, the Bolts is a 1 day, and that's in Flagstaff on February 4th. And honestly, I don't know what day of the week that is, but it's a 1 day trip.
You still need to travel in the day before. As it starts early.
We would, yes, because we're back on the same time at that point as Flagstaff, so you don't gain that hour going down anymore. So it would be a very, very early morning. So we would go down the night before, and then the Bolts is that day. So basically, this is just the board approving the boards and superintendent's attendance at these three, and then individually, the board members can let us know who's available to attend. And we'll do, Tanya will do the hotel reservations and conference registration and everything for you if you're free to attend. You can attend all of them, you can attend none of them, you can attend some of them, that's really up to you. And your ability to travel, so.
I'll go ahead and motion to approve 5.1 because it's a learning training for the board and superintendent and other staff members that are attending.
Okay, we have a motion in a second. Okay, Ms. Mallett, second. Have any questions on this one? Any other comments? 5.1. There's no question.
Dorothy Dawson,
Yes.
Ramona Nelwood,
Yes.
Mark Little,
Yes.
Bessie Allen,
Yes.
Miranda Mitsui. Yes. 5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. Motion passes.
Next item.
The next item is 5.2, discussion and possible action to approve travel for the business manager, superintendent, and federal programs director to attend. It's called FISIF, the Federal Impacted Schools Education Foundation workshop, which is immediately before the NISA conference, and that is the Impact 8 application workshop. So they take us through the entire application process, any changes. There probably will be some changes this year because of the COVID. So this is basically the day before the other starts. So board members don't attend this one, but Camille and Jonathan and I would be attending this one to complete the Impact 8 application.
Motion.
Travel for the business manager.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll go ahead and second that.
Oh, he seconded, okay. Any questions? Will we vote? None? Roll call vote?
Dorothy Dawson,
Yes.
Ramona Nelwood. Yes. Mark Little,
Mark, are you there?
He's driving or something.
Bessie Allen,
Yes.
Miranda Mitsui. Yes. 4 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. Motion passes.
Next item.
That's 5.3.
Yeah. 5.3.
That's, I didn't quite understand the write-up.
So
Does that
5.3,
mean that,
so what this is,
with the spend,
no, what this means, they tried this last year and it didn't pass because the way ASBA bylaws are written, you have to have, it has to do with it didn't pass because not enough districts voted. So what they're asking, they're running it again this year, and what they're asking currently, there's ASBA has a Black Caucus, which is its own separate thing, and then it has a Hispanic Native American caucus, where those two groups are together in one group. What ASBA wants to do is split the Hispanic and the Native American into two separate groups, because that gives each one a voice at the table. Right now, it alternates every other year. So one year, the representative is from the Hispanic caucus. The next year, it's from the Native American caucus, and it alternates back and forth. So what ASBA wants to do is they want to split that permanently, so there's always a Native American and always a Hispanic representative on the board of directors. So what you're voting to do is, so if you vote yes, what you're doing is you're voting to say, ASBA, change your bylaws so there will be a Native American caucus and a Hispanic caucus as two separate things.
With that.
Mark, are you back?
motion-
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm on connection.
Oh, that's okay.
Motion by Ms. Norwood, any second?
I'll second that.
Second
Uh,
by,
Can we go ahead and?
Mark, we're on 5.3, the bylaw change for ASBA to split the Hispanic Native American caucus into two separate things instead of one thing, just to catch you up.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and shoot 5.4.
okay, shooting 5.4.
Well, yes.
Oh, is that? They,
So, well, 5.4, just because you motioned to include that, what I'm asking on 5.4 is, it is not required that the board do a self-evaluation, but it's good practice for the board to do a self-evaluation. ASBA has a tool that they will send a link to each board member and the superintendent. So all 6 of us answer it online. It's kind of a Survey Monkey thing that we fill out. They get the results and then they share the results back to us. So what we did 2 years ago, last year we didn't because of all the COVID stuff, but 2 years ago, we actually contracted with ASBA and Mark and Ramona and Bessie may remember when Julie Bacon worked with us and we had 2 sessions and she took us through the results of our survey and we did some goal setting and some different things. So that's basically what I'm asking you, 5.4 is, do you want to do that again? So if you vote yes, then we would work with ASBA to schedule either Julie Bacon or Nikki Whaley. Those are the 2 who do that with us. And it would either, they are traveling again, so they could come to us or we could meet in the middle in Flagstaff. We did that one time, or it could be on, I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can do it. We just want to know, does the board want to do it? And if you do, then we will work with ASBA to coordinate those sessions. I think it was worth it last time. It's just, just when we finished is when the whole COVID thing started and we sort of lost momentum. So we want to pick that up again, be able to do that.
Sounds like a good idea, so. She already made a motion, so I guess.
Well, the motion that Bessie made was to approve 5.3 and 5.4. So I was this.
Second already, so.
Oh, okay. There's.
Any other question? Any question on this one? Is no question? Roll call vote?
Dorothy Ozzie,
Yes.
Ramona Elwood. Yes. Mark Little,
Yes.
Bessie Allen,
Yes.
Miranda Mitsui.
Yes.
5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions for items 5.3 and 5.4.
A motion for adjournment.
Motion, second. Second.
Second that.
Okay, second, Mitsui, Ms. Mitsui. Roll call vote?
Dorothy Ozzie,
Yes.
Ramona Elwood. Yes. Mark Little,
Yes.
Bessie Allen,
Yes.
Miranda Mitsui.
Yes.
5 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. Meeting is adjourned at 5:45 p.m.
Thank you. 5.45.
This worked. For those watching from a distance, the internet at the district went out, so we had to do this from my phone. So hopefully it all live streamed and you were able to follow along.